Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Let's Play Blasphemous. First video game Let's Play video in a little while. Been terribly busy with many projects this end. Writing projects primarily, which I can't talk about in any specificity as of yet, but there's a lot going on, I can tell you that. Stay tuned to the ExaggeratedElegy channel and you'll hear a little bit more about them very soon, I'm sure. Until then, here we are back in Custodian. Now I've just sort of teleported us forward to the Cathedral rooftops because this is where we need to go next. This is where the next Arch Saint of the Miracle resides. Well, this is the path to him anyway. One of my favourites actually, a boss that took me a long time to get the measure of, but once you've got the measure of him, he's actually incredibly easy. He's one of those bosses that it's like a Dark Souls boss. When you first fight it, very difficult, very tricky indeed, but once you understand its patterns, phenomenally easy. Also very evocative as well. It's one of the resurrected saints of the miracle, a character called Kiersey, who was burnt as a heretic, but was not, and so was reborn from his own ashes as a scion of the miracle, and is now a sort of flaming, fiery torturer and redeemer of the miracle itself. Very cool stuff, I'm sure you'll agree. But to get to him, we need to go through some of the more treacherous areas of the Cathedral rooftops, and then we need to go through there's another area. It's sort of like an inquisitorial jail, which is a sort of labyrinth. It's a very peculiar area where we need to acquire certain keys in order to progress. You'll see. It's a sort of two-dimensional labyrinth. It's very well put together, actually. Very clever in its construction. And very reminiscent of old Metroid games. Very reminiscent indeed. It makes a virtue of its two dimensions in order to... it creates an illusion of depth and dimension. It's very clever. It's very clever stuff. Whilst we're here, I'm not sure I'm going to even bother doing the Rose Door quests in this playthrough. I've been suffering with them on my my home play of the game, and I just can't be bothered with them, quite frankly. There is not much in this game and its various add-ons and updates that I would say I actively dislike. I think for the most part these add-ons and updates are absolutely superb. This one in particular I think is absolutely beautiful. The new stuff that's been added into the game is by and large spectacular, but those ridiculous assault courses that feel like afterthoughts, nah, they're not very good, unfortunately. It's a real shame. They're kind of a fly in the ointment, you know. They really aren't worth the frustration that they cause. They're one of the very few areas of this entire project that, when it comes to Blasphemous 2 or the next version of this game, I would say leave them out because they're not very good. But it's fine, we'll just ignore that particular area, I think, unless I have a day when I actually sit down and bother to do them. Otherwise, it's probably not going to happen because as I say, they're just so frustrating. They're quite badly put together, I'll be honest. It feels like they had some space left over, they wanted to put something else in the game, and they just stapled bits of assets together to make these assault courses. Unfortunately, the assault courses themselves are just not very well balanced at all. They're made from assets and game mechanics that themselves are not the best, like those lantern jumps and things like that, which are kind of 50-50 as to whether they work at all, even when you do them correctly. They are more sources of frustration than anticipation or challenge, I will definitely say that. And what you get from them is just not worth it. Here we are, this is the Wall of the Holy Prohibitions. This is gorgeous. I remember when I first came here, this awed me. what they've done with like 2D art. Look at this. There's Custodia. There is the metal tree erected as guardian of the bridge. That tree with its eroded bark is the symbol of His Holiness's final communion with the miracle. Facing this eternal dusk, I will wait until I depart towards the other side of the dream. Yeah, I mean, beautiful, right? Absolutely stunning. Look at that. That's pretty much all of Custodia. Oh, remember these guys? This section is genius. The use of shade and silhouette to evoke mood is incredible. It is absolutely incredible, and a bit of a challenge as well. Facing two of these guys at once, quite tricky, even at our current stage. Ah, there we go. There's one of them. This is going to be easy from now on, especially with that hymn on. Very, very easy indeed. And look at the tree in the background. That is beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. I love this so much. It's painterly. It's absolutely painterly. And the sense... Ah, here we are. This is the wall of the Holy Prohibitions. And it is a jail. It is effectively an inquisitorial jail for sinners and blasphemers and the like. And this is the domain that Kiersey holds court over. He's not a difficult boss. He's really not. But he is a tricky boss. You've got to really know his patterns, and once you know his patterns, that's pretty much it. He just takes patience then. He's not the kind of boss where you can just brute force him. You've got to take your time. These enemies are interesting. They can, if you're not very careful, catch you in a loop where they just keep hitting you. Oh, that's a nice death animation, I've got to say. So these doors, you need the key of the secular to open this door. So what we need to do is do runs through this area. You need the key of the scribe to open this door, and you need to get the keys, come back through, open all the doors. That's the way this area works. It's kind of a maze, it's a labyrinth, and it's quite fun actually. I've noticed that in this update it's changed. The aesthetics have changed. Look, you've got these images and mosaics on the walls now. There are also areas that are overgrown by the tree roots, which is very cool. They weren't in the original version of the game. There's a lot of aesthetic changes to this area, which is very, very cool indeed. Oh, shit! That happens a lot as well. The floors that give way beneath you. Yeah, if those, I'd assume what these guys are supposed to be are prisoners who have been driven mad by their tortures, right? Key of the secular. Yay! Okay, small simple key. The initiates visited only the minor prisoners, bringing them food on the rare occasions when the inmate's life had to be preserved. He took a large stone that rested nearby and struck his leg with it until his bones broke, thus escaping from the chain that held him prisoner. Crawling, he left the place, but the sand under his feet, according to what he told us, absorbed the trail of blood he left behind, and so his captors could not tell which path he had taken. Since then, every night he prays tearfully next to a pile of sand he keeps beside his bed. I wonder who that could be referring to. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. It's rather lachrymose, isn't it? Someone who's rather sad and upset by things. But yes, as I was saying, all the other elements of the add-on and update will do, definitely. We're obviously going to do the 2 new bosses. We're going to get the... we're going to complete the story that results from that. Beyond that, not sure. We'll wait and see. I might take it upon me to do... Oh, here we are. Up and down, up and down. Worse than pain and worse than cold is the squeaking, the incessant squeaking of that damn floor of rusty mechanisms. Why would anyone want to use it so much? Someone who doesn't like the elevator there. There's a lot of elevators in this area. That's the other sort of gimmick of this area. There are multiple floors and elevators that pass between them, and some of them open gates, some of them open secret doors. It's just a kind of trial and error, really. It's not as complicated as it looks. It really isn't. There is also a character around here that we need to find, but in order to open his door... Oh, hello. Ulna of Coke, the Troubadour. The Inquisitors despised music because it induced euphoria. Coke thought it appropriate to dedicate a toned satire to these presbyters in public. His execution preceded the complete ban on music. Brilliant. And actually, I know it's supposed to be a joke, but that is actually not... it's certainly not outside the realms of actual history when it comes to religious fundamentalism. I mean, Cromwell in this country banned all sorts of things. Dancing, music, Christmas was banned by Cromwell because he was such a Puritan, you know? Oh, hello. And of course the Puritans in the USA as well banned all sorts of stuff. Dancing was well out. That was something you certainly wouldn't be able to do without being condemned. Because dancing has always been associated with not only with pagan things, but with baseness as well. It's always been a sort of prelude and precursor to carnality, which the Puritans had have none of. And you know, Custodian is nothing if not puritanical. I mean, my God. Oh, hello. Yet another enemy that I might get censored for. They do love their male nudity in Custodian. I'm all for it, obviously. Yes, he's one of the monsters we have to kill to fill the chalice of inverted curses. I don't think we need to do it. I think I did it last time. So we don't really need to bother ourselves with that one. Oh, hello, there's another corpse here. I suppose we should put on our little rag, shouldn't we? There we are. Which one is it? It's this one, isn't it? The Shroud of Dreamt Sins. Here we go. I saw him approaching between the bars. I saw fire burst through his chest and scorch him. I saw fire burn again from thin air and fuse his skin. He walks with fire. Yeah, that's describing Kiersey, the boss. He's an amazing character, actually. Not as visually impressive as the other bosses. He's not as big or as ornamental, I suppose, as some of the bosses in this area, but he is really well designed. I mean, really beautiful. The elegance of him is gorgeous. It reminds me of some of the very best of the Dark Souls bosses, I've got to say. These guys, I love the way these guys can emerge through doors. That's very cool. And the fact they've got the run of the jail is actually rather disturbing. Feels like the jailers aren't doing their jobs correctly. Then again, these are the latter days of Custodian in its current state. I suppose they've just not... they don't bother at this point, right? Why would you? I can't imagine it's worth the hassle. It's a big area as well on the Wall of Holy Prohibitions. There's a lot going on here. We are going to have to come back a little later as well to open some of the more obscure doors, like the Door of the Inquisitor. If I remember correctly, that key isn't in this area. You have to buy it from one of the shops. If I can remember which one, that would be lovely. I love all the bosses in this area. They, as I say, I think they're actually, for the most part, easier than the bosses from the previous area. I mean, Kiersey will cause you a lot of trouble when you first face him. But after that, nah, not so much really. One of the problems with him, one of the difficulties that people might have when they first play the game is that he has attacks that fill the screen, or that fill a significant part of it, and you need to preempt where the safe spaces are going to be. And that can be quite tricky. But as long as you keep on the move, generally you'll be alright with him. Hello? No secrets here? Now I believe the Inquisitor's door is up there somewhere. There is a secret here, I remember this. Hello? I wonder how long you've just been standing there waiting for someone to happen along. I mean, you know, this is Custodian, so being condemned to just stand there guarding something isn't really that terrible compared to what you could be condemned to. Oh, Phalanx of William the Skeptic. William Graff devoted his life to exposing charlatans and deceitful evangelists. Good on you. He even questioned the sanctity of certain members of the Custodian Church. His heresy was not forgiven. I bet it bloody wasn't. My God, he must have been quite brave. Can you imagine actually in this world bringing the church into question? My God. I mean, you must know you're not going to get away with that. Not in this world. And I'm sure Escribar wasn't very pleased with that at all. Mind you, Escribar's a weird one. It's difficult to say. You'll see when we reach him, but it's difficult to say to what degree he wants the shift in the miracle's nature to happen. He seems to, when you reach him, it almost feels like he's guided you or invited you to that point, as though it's inevitable. Okay, before I go through that door, I'm just going to check out what's going on up here. I don't think I can get anywhere here because I haven't got the key of the scribe. Not yet anyway, but soon. No, I need the key of the scribe. Oh well. Later on then. In a moment. A lot of toing and froing in this area. Hey! Key of the secular. Excellent. So, what have we got going on in here? Oh. Suspiciously quiet. Oh, hello! That was bound to happen, really, wasn't it? Any more? Any secrets? No? Alright then. We'll also, of course, do the oh, hello. What are you doing here? Yay! Key of the scribe! Exactly what we wanted. We will also do the stuff from the Iron Key well preserved. The scribes were present at each interrogation, tasked with recording the inevitable confessions of the tortured. Father, take off these things that restrain my arms and legs. Father, they are killing me. It doesn't help me to tell them what I did, for they want to hear what I did not do. Father, they are not looking for the truth. They want an offense against you from my mouth, Father. May the miracle save me. Yeah, well there you've got a sort of synthesis of all the problems with torture-forced information and confession, really, isn't it? You know, the torturers are looking for something ideologically specific. They're not looking for the truth, ever. It doesn't really matter what you say. And that goes for secular torture as well as religious torture or superstitious torture. I could go on a lengthy rant about Sam Harris's argument for torture in The End of Faith at this point because it's terrible, but I'm not going to because this is not the time or the place. Anywho. But it does, I mean, it makes for interesting reading looking at the stuff that Blasphemous is based on. So if you go and read stuff like the Malleus Maleficarium, for example. Oh, hello. Taking advantage of a pontifical bull, Vuklich was caught stealing a forbidden book about arcane knowledge. His hands did not write again after that day. I bet they didn't. Alright, getting a lot of the artifacts here, which is nice. Not that we really need them at this point. We've already opened the ossuary, but that's all to the good. I can't wait to get to the video and we do the ossuary boss. I really can't. It's a tricky specimen, that one is. But yeah, the Malleus Maleficarium, which is a fantastic book, which really does detail what people believed about witchcraft and how witch hunters determined who was a witch and who was not, and it seems absolute, utter insanity to us today, which it was, of course, which it absolutely was. But you have, at the time, it made sense to the people who wrote it. You know, it's a bizarre thing to think that. It's very difficult for those of us who exist now in a largely secular nation or a largely secular culture to understand how real those superstitions were to the people who experienced them, right? I mean, the UK in particular, the island that would become the UK, was a demon-haunted world at that point in history. Certainly to the people who lived here. things like witchcraft and magic and demons and fairies and whatnot were real things. They were parts of everyday life to those people. Of course, they weren't real in any objective sense. They were only real in terms of belief and perception. But they were real enough that very actual things like material law were determined or prescribed by them. People's lives were destroyed by the belief in them. It was an age of enshrined and accepted insanities. And in our own peculiar way, we're not in much of a better situation now. It's just that we've swapped the language of our superstitions for something else. We believe in other superstitions like the market, for example, or economy, or whatever, which in and of in their own peculiar ways are no less contrived or immaterial than fey things and fairies and whatnot. You may as well believe in magic if you're going to talk about markets and shit like that. Again, not the place for that rant, but yeah, let's get back to Blasphemous, shall we? If you want to talk about that, go and listen to What the Hell is Wrong with Us on this channel, or Strange Playgrounds, and there's much more detailed, in-depth analyses of my perspectives with regards to markets. Certainly the notion of the free market, which is one of the most absurd fairy tales I've ever heard in my life. I don't know how any sane or rational person can believe in that concept. I really don't. Anywho, oh, we're out in the patio of the Silent Steps. Oh my god, this is very high. If we're out in the patio of the Silent Steps, this is very... Oh, the Quicksilver. We can give that to our suffering friend down in the sewers. Yeah. Do we want to go down that way? No, we don't. Not yet. Do we? Do we want to go down that way? Should we try it? Let's just go and have a look, just to complete the map. I like the music here. It's more ambient than anything. It's sinister. I love it. Tell you what, this video game has the most beautiful architecture. Again, another area where it resembles Dark Souls to a degree. And the FromSoft games in general. Environment is all important. I mean, those buttresses back there could very easily be the buttresses of Anor Londo, could they not? Ow! Well. That went well, didn't it? Ah, dear. Oh, I've fallen a very long way. Whoa. Listen to that. There's like a discordant mourning thing going on there that's really creepy and strange. Love it. Very sinister indeed. There's something Lovecraftian about accursed cathedrals and sites of dark religiosity that I can't resist. I find absolutely irresistible. It's no wonder in that regard that Blasphemous is definitely one of my favourite Metroidvanias of recent years. Hollow Knight is very good too. Hollow Knight I think is more unbalanced. Hollow Knight has problems with the game itself, like the actual transitional areas of the game are wonderful and really well done. The bosses are pains. The bosses they're really well designed aesthetically, but they're too difficult. Certainly some of them are just way out there. In terms of the contrast between the bosses and the play area, the difficulty spike between those two is just too much. It's too extreme, which is a bit of a shame. Otherwise, I think Hollow Knight is definitely one of the best Metroidvanias out there. It definitely has one of the best worlds. Yeah, we will be going back to it, don't worry. I know I keep promising, but we will be going back to it. I just had to have a rest from it because it was a bit much, you know? There's a couple of things we will be getting back to. We'll be getting back to Clive Barker's Undying very, very soon. I really want to continue our journey with Patrick Galloway. What else? Quake's coming back. Definitely be doing that. I mean, I'd love to go back to some of the really old ones, to be honest, like The Outer Worlds. I don't know why I even stopped playing that. I got distracted by something else. I mean, I loved The Outer Worlds. I thought it was a beautiful game. Then again, it's Obsidian, isn't it? It's Obsidian doing what Obsidian do best. I mean, the open world games is what Obsidian do just beautifully. Still responsible for one of the best Fallout game by a country mile, Fallout New Vegas, you know. The only Fallout game I've completed all the way through, I think. And would complete again. I love New Vegas. Is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Ahaha, we're getting close to Kiersey now. Very close indeed. These tree roots are new as well. You see the tree roots growing up through everything? They weren't here in the last... I think they were here in the last version of the game, but they weren't here in the previous version of the game. Hiya! He's taking a while to cark it, isn't he? There we are. Hi! Nope, no secrets here, which is a bit shame. Look at the rat! He's fun. That's very cute. I love environmental details like that. Oh yeah, this area is a bit of a twister. This one's a bit of a puzzle. This. Okay, right. There are, again, I mean, I'm sorry to keep drawing comparisons, but there's always like a prison or a jail or an asylum in the FromSoft games as well for heretics or blasphemers. In Demon Souls, it's the Tower of Latria, the Prison of Hope. In Dark Souls 3, it's the it's Irithyll Dungeon. You know, they for some reason it seems to be a theme in these games. Oh shit, I can't get in there yet, can I? I'm going to have to go around and bring the lift down again. Oh well. Let's try that again. In fact, I'm just doing the Tower of Latria in my Demon Souls playthrough at the moment, and that is incredible. That's easily one of my favourite areas. There are goddamn Illithid in it, as in like D&D Illithid. They're not even altered in terms of design. They are straight up Illithid. Which is interesting. Ow. Well, he caught me in one of his animation loops there, which is kind of cool. Kier the Scribe! Yay! Oh, we're very close to Kiersey now. Very close. There's another one of the cherubim. Oh my god, we've nearly got all of them. That's cool. I don't think I've got all of them before. I think there's always been like one or two that I've missed. I don't know if you get anything special for getting every single one of them or not. I'd assume you do. Okay. Oh dear! Yeah, that is Kiersey's sword. Shit. Here he is. Kiersey, returned by the flames. Yeah. Arisen from his own ashes to serve the miracle again, right? Now consumed by the fires that consumed him. Very cool. I love this boss. Great music. Really wonderful attack patterns. Gotta be careful of him though. If he catches you in one of his loops, you are done. Like, he can just keep doing that. Trying to get some cheeky hits in on him, which you can. At this point he's not that hard, it's when he reaches halfway. Ow! I'm doing very well here. Oh, look at that! I love the way the sword follows him around like a familiar. He doesn't always carry it, it kind of has a mind of its own. Ow, thank you. Right, he's throwing his sword away, so now he's a bit harder, actually. This is what... It's this attack that threw me when I first fought Kiersey. The teleport attack can catch you in a loop if you're not prepared for it and if you don't know where to position yourself. If he does that when you are against a wall, you're screwed, because he'll just keep doing it until you're dead, knocking you against the wall while he's doing it. And that's it. There's a harder version of it when he's at half strength, where he'll teleport and then send out waves of those fire pillars, which is quite tricky actually. But yeah, he's been quite accommodating actually at the moment. He's not doing any, many of his harder attack patterns. Ow. One thing I will never do in this game is try to do like a no-hit run or anything like that. That's not my bag. That's really not my bag. I play these games for the fluff, not the crunch. I like the background and the aesthetics. I like the way he charges up. Like the fire builds up beneath his heels. I think that's really cool. Oh. Cheeky hits. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He's gonna chuck his sword at me. Look at it floating there beside him. I wonder if he's happy now to be associated with the element that was the source of his unjust execution. Me, I'd be pissed off. He's quite built, isn't he? If you look at him when he's doing that charge move, he's very muscular, look. Rangy is what he is. Ow. There, you see, this is he can catch you in this attack. If he catches you in a pattern, you're done. He'll just keep hitting you. And that can be quite tricky. But as long as you position yourself all right to begin with, it's not that bad. You've got to be a little bit more circumspect now that he's down below half health as to when you hit him. If you try to get cheeky hits in too much, he'll massacre you. I like there, for example. That was my own fault for not dodging. Not really modest, is he, Kiersey? He's only wearing like his hat and that little tabard, and that's it. Oh, I may have fucked that. Oof, no, we're fine. Again, if you are not positioned correctly, you'll run into the wall and then the fire pillars will hit you. Oh, nope, he caught me then. Fair and square. That's because I was trying to get cheeky hits in, right? Also, he's a bit quicker now. Your best tactic with this one is run back and forth. Oh, what's he gonna do? Ah, why did I just stand there? Yeah, this boss is so well designed. You can be absolutely assured that any hits you take are going to be really your fault, the player's fault. There's nothing cheap about this boss. He's really well designed. And with consideration and practice, quite easy to beat. I mean, this is my first go, this playthrough, and, he's more or less dead. We are going to win. We've got too much health not to. I mean, I'd have to try really hard to die at this point. Although, I'm doing an okay job, right? Ooh. All of the bosses in this area have such interesting suggestions of backstory. I mean, Kiersey has got more than most of them because he actually has like those dreaming corpses that talk about him, and there's a couple of items I think that talk about Kiersey as well. And I also think, oh, our friend, what's his name? Gracias talks about him as well. Oh, ooh, that was close. Although the sword stays embedded in the wall, I don't know, it's just something very cool about that. There we go, that's Kiersey done. So Kiersey's second death. Bit more justified this time, I would like to think. Requiem Aeternum, of course. I think that's it, isn't it? That's the last of the 3 bosses on this side of the game. Oh, there he is. Hello.
The one you have pulled from punishment was Kiersey.
Kiersey. One of the sheltered. What does that mean?
He was unjustly condemned to the stake for heresy.
I've got coffee, by the way.
And the Inquisitors bore witness to the flames, engulfing his body amidst an atrocious communion of prayers and cries.
I feel kind of sorry for him now.
Still, when it was over and the flames had died, the merciful miracle called them forth again, and from them, from the ashes and the embers, the body of Kiersey rose anew.
Well, I'm sure, you know, that was much comfort to him.
Fiery are the paths of the miracle.
Bloody capricious are the paths of the miracle, I would say, dear Gracias. Not to mention sadistic. Now, what's through here? I think this is an Escribar statue. Yep. This is the last one, I think. And quite difficult, if I remember correctly. The last fight in that particular gauntlet is one of the Crusader characters, one of the Templars, which is quite tricky. Key of the High Peaks. Oh, interesting. Right, what can we do? What can we do? There's no shortcuts to open, are there? Oh, that's rather annoying. Do I have to take the long way around? I'd like to have a go at the Escribar statue if that's the case. Although I've only got one bile flask. Will I be able to do it? Let's give it a go. I might be able to. Or not. Let's see. Oh, this one's got poison mist floating through it, so I'm going to have to put on a Relic. That's a good sign, isn't it? Oh, hello. Ow. And that's a very good start. Oh yes, we are doing well at this point. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, yes. I like the way they run in concert. I think that's kind of fun. Oh, the angels. Interesting. I like the fact that, like, you know, like the way angels are actually described in both biblical texts and apocryphal works, and even occult works. They actually have multiple wings, which is kind of cool. Although, actually, the way angels are described in the biblical texts is insane. They have multiple wings, but they look nothing like human beings, I can tell you that. Not for the most part, anyway. There's one or two that appear in sort of human form. Most of them don't. I love these big saintly sepulchres. They're very cool. Either way, when they strike, they fly apart as well. It's as though they're only held together by the miracle, by some sort of magic, right? Oh! Popes and madmen. That's interesting. I like that. Bishops and madmen. Ugh. I love the way the throne burns up underneath them. I think that's really, really cool. Oh tits, here we go. This is the hard part. This is harder than all the other bits put together. These guys are pains. They are pains on so many levels. Yeah, may not do it this time round, but we'll just come back here and get it done, yeah? Shit. Oh well. We'll get right back there and do it again. It won't take long. One more try, my loves. I do love dancing around like that. I think that's kind of fun. Interestingly, these guys look a little bit more human than most of the characters wandering around Custodian. They don't have any obvious mutilations. I'm sure they've got plenty underneath their robes and whatnot, but nothing obvious. Ugh. Ow! Oh, oh, this is going very poorly. They've got me up against the wall. That is desperately where you don't want to be. Yeah, they're quite beautiful actually, these angelic figures. I like them. Again, potential sources of censorship on YouTube. Was there a glitch there? He seemed to teleport like under the ground then. Oh, this hymn is fantastic against them. Just leave a trail of corrosive mist and they die. Ow. Well, that hurt. Oh dear, I got caught. Damn it. Shit. Well, this is not going to end well, is it? Or maybe it will. And one thing I'm absolutely going to do on my channel very, very soon, I'm going to replay Resident Evil 8 on the PS5 because I enjoyed that game so much. I have no compunction about playing it through again because it is wonderful. It is easily one of my favourite Resident Evil games for a very long time. I mean, I loved 7 too. I loved 7 to bits, but I think 8 is the better game. I really do. It's so... I mean, the variety of horror it contains is incredible. For one game to do that much in terms of different shades of horror, different types of horror, and to make it work, yeah, it's good. It's very, very impressive. Okay, what have we got left? What have we got left? Oh, it's just you. Great. Do not like you. There's one thing you've really got to watch with these guys. There's a little bit of bullshittery going on with that mace of theirs. The mace has a... You saw it there. Look, can you see? Their mace has a really weird hitbox. It's bigger than the actual mace itself, much bigger. And it will hit you and send you flying, even if they are not swinging it. If you just run into it like that, it will still hit you. So you've got to be quite careful of that. Again, I mean, that's actually a fault, again, that reminds me heavily of some Dark Souls games. Dark Souls 2 in particular, there's several of the knightly enemies that have that very problem, where their weapons have weird hitboxes. And if you just so much as walk past them, without even grazing them, if you hit the hitbox, it will send you flying. It will do, like, untold damage, whether they're striking with the weapon or not. It's a bit shit, really. Although these guys, I mean, they are tough, but once you've got the pattern down, they're not that bad. You've just got to keep at them. They're very tough, though. They've got loads of health. There we go. Di Testaccio Zacorum. And I believe that may be the last of the Escribá statues. Our thorn should be fully grown now. Which means we'll get the proper ending of the game when we defeat Escribá. Yeah, Custodian of Sin. Yeah, that's right, that's me. Lovely. Look at that. Ah, I love that. The blood seeps out of his mask. I love it. I love some of the idle animations actually that the penitent one has. He's got a few, and some of them are kind of fun. I think there's one where he like chucks his sword up. Is he going to do it or is he not? Nah, fuck it, I can't be bothered to wait. I may show you some a little later. I can't be bothered to wait at the moment though. Right, well that's the Wall of Holy Prohibitions. There's other stuff that we need to do, obviously. There's always other stuff to do. I need to go and get the Inquisitor's Key because that is going to be essential. And in fact, when we've got the Inquisitor's Key, we can pursue a quest which will get us easily the best and most abusable hymn in the entire game. It's a hymn that, quite frankly, makes certain encounters way too easy. And could probably do with being toned down in updates of the game. It is that abusable, especially if you're going for a fervor build. If you've got a lot of fervor and a lot of fervor generating items and whatnot on, it can be very abusable indeed, like ridiculously so. Before we do that though, we need to go and use the key, the new key that we got. Which will take us, I believe, back up to the Cathedral in the snowy area, the mountaintop area. Key of the High Peaks, here we are. Look at this thing. Don't worry, you'll get to see what that is. It's in silhouette, it's actually quite disturbing, isn't it? There's like lots of horses mashed together. Here we are. The Convent of Our Lady of the Charred Visage. It's a mouthful, that, isn't it? Look at this. This is cool, right? It is lots of horses mashed together. Yay! But this opens up a new area of the convent. Which is fun, isn't it? I love it when Metroidvanias do this. When areas interlink with other areas and open up parts of them that are inaccessible. Oh, hello, you!
The last one of these pains of mine, the deepest and sharpest of them all.
Do I have to?
Now depart towards the cradle of punishment, O penitent one in guilt.
As long as I don't have to take your hat as well. Because your hat is silly. Okay, there we are. We are, in terms of health, and I believe, not in terms of fervor yet, but we will be, at full very soon. Very soon. We'll need to be at full because we're going to use the fervor build to take down 2 of the hardest bosses in the game. Hello! There he is, the last of those saints. The Mirrored Mask of Dolphos. Artifact found in the hands of a dead archdeacon in tower isolated amidst snow. Confessions from Dolphos, Part 1. They don't understand. They will not find grace amid old books and dark dreams. Grace is impurity itself in what we can see and touch. I must study the beauty of the shining and the curves that reflect the transformed truth. I must study the art of the goldsmiths as the miracle controls their hands, creating ornaments in its image and likeness. Here in these icy rooms, they will finally leave me alone. Interesting. So a kind of materialist faith being practiced there by Dolphos. Interesting. But we've got them all now. We've got every single one of those masks, which means...
I awake now from the silver ash that has been my cradle. The miracle calls me.
Yeah, Escribar is on the very edge of ascension to another state of being. Very cool, I'm sure you'll agree. The miracle calls him home. Across the dream. Right, where do we need to go next anyway? Been to the Library of Negated Words. Well, actually, one of the things we need to do now is go and kill all of the Amanecidas. Which is easier said than done. They're not that bad, actually. I say they're tough, they're not that bad. Especially if you've got the miracle, the hymn I was talking about. Before we do that, though, I need to get the Inquisitor's Key, which is around here somewhere. There's a shop that sells it. Hello! Ah, there's one of the red candles. Don't need that. I've already got the bead of wax. The ball of wax, as it is now. Bloody librarians. Treating books like that. How dare you? I may have mentioned I was a librarian once upon a time. One of my first jobs ever, actually. If I treated books like that, I would have been fired forthwith, I can tell you. You deserve that, quite frankly. Then again, I suppose this is the library of the negated words, isn't it? So the books here are actually blasphemous in and of themselves. That said, they are reading them, aren't they? So, you know. Excellent. Okay, where is this damn shop that I need to go to anyway? Ah, I can't remember. It's, is it in the sleeping canvases? Could be in the sleeping canvases, because there is an area here we haven't explored yet. So it's probably through here somewhere. No. Apparently not. I think it is here, though. If I remember correctly, it is in the sleeping canvases somewhere. Ow. Slashed by a damn painting. Again, great music. In fact, the whole soundtrack to this game is something else. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so ambient. There we go. Chalice of Inverted Verses. I love that. What a wonderful name. In fact, the naming conventions in this game are generally wonderful. The whole notion of the name Custodia itself is fantastic. It really is wonderful. The realm of the protected, the guardian, the sentinels of what? Who knows? The secrets of the grievous miracle, I'd assume. That's what it refers to. Ah, this is the one. This is the one we need. And there they are! One of the bile flasks, which of course we'll buy.
Is not something that delights me. So its price is as high as its value to me.
Whatever, old lady. Fine, I'll take it. Don't really trust her, you know? I can't remember if there is even, like, an ending for this character, if there is, like, I don't know, some final scene for her if you buy everything from her or something like that. I don't think there is.
Feast your eyes on the envy of every merchant. The finest treasure to ever find its way into my hands.
Oh, the finest, is it? It's a key.
May my heart stop beating if I'm being dishonest.
I'll take it. Key of the Inquisitor. Yay! Exactly what we needed. Master Key forged from steel. The heat of the sword carried by the Great Inquisitor announced his arrival even through the coldest walls. Oh, Kiersey. He's talking about Kiersey. Great. I'm not reading that. Rose weakly from her chair under the attentive gaze of all present, and addressing the Inquisitors said, "The apparitions are a truth granted to my eyes by our Lord. For what other reasons could there be behind this miraculous talent? My sin has been overlooking the merit of such a valuable gift." The Inquisitor sitting in the centre of the room answered, "What gesture could there be more pious than using your grace in benefit of the Church, holy and wise?" Then he got up from his throne, and hoisting a lustrous silver tray, bearing precious ornaments, said, "May your fortunate eyes rest here henceforth, and a windowless chapel be their dwelling, for this is the word of our holy Mother Church." Oh dear, someone had their eyes removed for that minor little blasphemy. Not nice. Not nice. Then again, I mean, you know, as punishments go in Custodian, it's not that bad. Could be worse, couldn't it? Oh god, yes, this, I remember this. Ow! Well, this is going well. I tell you what, my loves, on that note, on that comedic note, I'll leave it there. When we come back, we'll explore a little bit more of Custodia. Until then, my loves, bye-bye.